Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
If you're a Black, Native, or Hispanic, you need to be at the Lord's Passover. The only Passover is with the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA. Don't let them lie to you. If you out here celebrating this right here, you for sure gotta come celebrate with your people. Alright? The weather gonna look way better than this, and it's in Texas.
The I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover in Houston, Texas, April 4th, 2026. Pay your Passover fees. I.S.U.P.K.com. $200 per adult. Kids get in free.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
All right, shalom, Israel. Let's clap it up. Most High Christ. All right, what's going on, y'all? Listen, we all know what's going on today in the world. They're celebrating another false prophet on another false holiday. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the class, man. I want to give everybody a hand for tuning in. You know what I mean? Throughout everybody for tuning in. Give yourself a hand for even standing with the Most High in such evil times. In a time where you can be filthy rich for being an evil, wicked monster in this earth. And a time where you are ostracized damn near for even caring about the truth. For even acting like you give a damn about who God is, you know, and these type of times, people want to hate us, you know what I mean, and say bad things and just do all types of evil to us because we stand with the Most High God. So let's first start with this because it's supposed to be a quote unquote holiday. Let's go into Amos 5:21. Let's get a little breakdown on false holidays. First off, all the holidays which are considered holidays or high holy days or holy days, which is where you get the term holiday from, it's supposed to be a holy day, are in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So if you're celebrating a quote unquote holiday and it's not from Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, then it's not a holiday. In our culture, can I get a bottle of water, please? In our culture, we have holidays and then we have observances. The Feast of Purim, I don't believe that's in the in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. The Feast of Hanukkah, that's not in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter either. But they are a part of what we call our feast days. We call them feast days because that's days where we feast and have a party and we celebrate these days. But they're observances. It's something that we observed because of what happened in our culture. So we took the time out to have fun on those days. Now, we also have actual holidays or high holy days, where we have a Sabbath service, and you're not required to work those days. The Lord said day is Sabbath. You got off on the high holy days. Now, the observances, you can go to work. You can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? It's not a high holy day, or it's not a Sabbath. Okay, so with that being said, that's the difference. Our observances that are part of our feast days, you can still work because it's not a Sabbath. But our high holy days, they are Sabbaths where we are required to not work. Some of them is 8 days long. You know what I mean? I believe some of them is 2 days. But our observances, you can go to work after you get off, you come back. But, who knows when Christ returns, they may become Sabbaths. The Lord may say, listen, I honor those days that y'all took to remember your culture in such an evil time. You ain't got to work on those days either. You might give us off for those days. They ain't in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, but we'll still have them all. Of course, because the Bible is still being written. All right. Let's start with Amos 5:21. Talking about these fake holidays.
Yes, sir. This is Amos 5:21.
Go ahead.
I despise your feast days.
The Lord said what?
I despise your feast days.
The Lord said he hates. Now, I thought God didn't hate. Ain't that what Christians say? Christians say God don't hate. Yes, he does. The Lord said he's a jealous God. They tell you jealousy is a female trait. Well, God said he was jealous. Now, is it weak to be jealous? Depending on the context. But is it also righteous to be jealous? Depending on the context, yes. And God said he's a jealous God. He also said that he hates. The Lord said he hates our what?
Feast days.
He hates and he despises our feast days, meaning days that we made to feast for an evil thing. He despises it and he hates it. Martin Luther King Day is a false holiday to celebrate a false prophet who was a traitor to his own people to gain a little bit of that pork, that tender other white meat. So he would say, he disowned being an Israelite. He disowned being black. He said, I ain't no Nigga today. I'm effing you for God today. That's what Martin Luther King said. You can look it up. It's in the FBI files, man. And he was a communist, getting funded by the oppressor to trade on his people. Don't be like MLK. And he changed his name. His name was Michael King. He changed it to Martin Luther, calling himself after an oppressor, after the enemy of his people, after the enemy of God, some devil named Martin Luther, who was, I believe, was a Protestant and did all types of evil things to black people and Hispanics and Native American Indians. And he named himself after Martin Luther. He changed his name from Michael King to Martin Luther King. and was funded by the oppressor to take his people and bring them to a burning house. Now, because of his lust, he couldn't see that. Because of his lust, he couldn't see what was about to happen. Because of his lust, he could not see what the evil that was going to come years later. All he could think about is that white tail. That's all he could think about. Was the tail of the pig, the other white meat. That's all he had on his mind. And you know what? After he brought his people to the burning house, they decided to celebrate this damn traitor. Why would the oppressor think about it? The oppressor don't give nobody else. We ain't got a Nat Turner Day. We ain't even got a damn Harriet Tubman Day. We ain't got real black heroes. Where's the day for the brothers in the what was they called? The ones in the military, man, that helped with the airplanes and all that. Damn, I forget what they call. Somebody type it in, man. Oh man, the military unit that helped save the America in the Vietnam War. Man, they don't have no day for them. There is no real holidays for black heroes, man. You know what I mean? We don't have a Rosa Parks Day. But you know why the oppressor would give Martin Luther King his own day? To celebrate and to honor their informant, their snitch, their traitor, their infiltrator. To honor their infiltrator that did a good job at turning on his people. Alawapanya, Barak, how about Shimmy al-Shah Brakatha? That being said, I'm passing class over to 12 children of mine.
All right. Let's get it on. I'll answer all of your questions in the room and online. Mi nombre es General Mahayaman. Estoy al servicio de El General YAHANNA. Somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York. Desde 1969, debajo del mando, General YAHANNA. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombres, españoles, negro o indio nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa, pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pasando. Órale. All right, I'll answer all of your questions. Haz tus preguntas. Whenever you're ready, let's get it on, all right?
Yes, sir. This is from Joseph. Shalom, can you break down Luke chapter 10 and verse 18, please?
Claro que sí, of course.
This is
ready.
Come on. This is the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Read it one verse above it.
Yes, sir. Verse 17. And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name.
Where are we at again?
Luke chapter 10 and verse 17, sir.
I got you. So this is after the disciples went out to teach, when Jesus Christ was with them and he sent them out to teach. And he came back and he was so enthusiastic about all the battles that he got in that day. And imagine being a young man and you're going out to camp for the first time without the camp leader who you usually go out with. And this time you're out on your own. And es milagro, and it's like a miracle. You go out there and it's amazing. Why? Because you're getting in battles and you're winning those battles in the name of the Most High in Christ. You're winning them. And when you've come from such a terrible situation of poverty and low self-esteem as blacks, con Latinos, before you know it, you don't have anything that you can feel proud of. So these brothers were coming back saying, We were winning. We went out there and they fled. We were winning the battles that day. Read that part again.
And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name.
Everybody gets that, meaning we were speaking in your name, meaning speaking for you, speaking the doctrine that you taught us, and they ran from us. Continue.
Yes, sir. Verse 18, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Is that written in red?
Oh, you want me to read it again?
No, I mean, is that written in red that you're
Oh,
reading
yes, sir.
right now? Right.
That's written in red.
So as the disciples are telling him about the wonderful camp day that they had and battles that they won, Jesus Christ said, I see what?
Yes, sir. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
He said, I looked and I beheld and I saw Satan falling as lightning from heaven, meaning the battles that his men won that day foretold the sign that the powerful of this world are going to fall from their heavenly position. I beheld and I see Satan falling from heaven. Why? Because Satan is sitting in heaven. He's in heaven. What do I mean by Satan? I am not speaking about that myth that Martin Luther King and his disciples told you about, something you would tell children in church. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about politics, world politics. Who is in charge? The people who run things. Satan runs things. Satan sits in the White House. Satan sits in the Congress. Satan sits in the boardrooms of America and Great Britain and France. And the disciples of Jesus Christ going out on the street and teaching alone and winning, he saw Satan falling that day. That day he saw that the people in power were going to come down, and they weren't going to float down gently. They were going to come down like lightning, come down fast. That's what this is speaking about, young warrior. And what a day. What a day we're all waiting for. Keep going.
That was
no problem.
Next question, sir. From Kalataza Slak Yadawan. If I may, can you break down how and why did the I.S.U.P.K change from ICGJC back to I.S.U.P.K?
The I.S.U.P.K was never the ICJJC. I've been in the truth since 95. I've never been in the ICJJC ever. I don't even know what the hell that is. I learned about that after the year 2000. The Israelite School of UPK has never been the ICGJC. Those are those cats that wear red and white. They believe that some man named Tazadakia was the Holy Spirit in the flesh, and now he doesn't have flesh anymore. Lord be with him and help him and protect him and let him come back, when Jesus Christ is in charge. But he's dead. And that's the last I've heard of them. There are men that broke off from the school and changed the name of their school from the school that they were in to ICGJC. That's one of the many acronyms I've had to listen to since 1995. I've heard more acronyms than a grade school teacher teaching children the ABCs. I've heard the ICGJC, the IUIC, the GMS, the GGCC, GSC, the ESTAS, 1,000 acronyms, and I'm bored with it by now. But Commanding General YAHANNA has never been in charge of some IGJC ever. And of course, I've been around a while. All right. Anything else?
Yes, sir. This is from Chavez Unlimited. Me Henarel.
C. Please.
Can I please get a breakdown on Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 3? Salakia, sir.
Absolutely. Glad OKC. Let's read it.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 3. Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be that a man shall be defiled withal, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty.
Read it one more time, please.
Yes,
one
sir.
Verse above it.
Yes, sir. Verse 2. Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast or a carcass of unclean cattle,
Mhm.
or the carcass of unclean creepy things,
Mhm.
and if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty.
Let me explain it to you. Imagine you touch a dead pig. Now, you didn't know you were touching a dead pig. Someone fooled you. Someone lied about it. You had your eyes closed. You're blind. You couldn't see that it was a pig and you touched it, right? You are still guilty of touching it because the unclean laws are medical. And that's what you have to remember about all of the unclean laws. The unclean laws are a quarantine to protect you from disease. You understand? It's not magical or spiritual. They have an absolutely practical purpose. So in this scenario, you touched an unclean thing. You did not know you were touching it at all. Keep going.
Verse 3. Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be that a man shall be defiled withal, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty.
So now when it comes to the uncleanness of a man, the only way that you are culpable or responsible or guilty for doing that is if you know it. If you touch the uncleanness of a dead thing or a dead snake or a dead rat and you didn't know it, you're guilty even if you don't know. But if you touch the uncleanness of a man, let me think about what makes a man unclean. You know, some type of sinner or, you know, someone you're not supposed to touch because this person is unclean. The only time that God will charge you for that is if you know about it. If you didn't know about it, you're not responsible for it. What's the difference? You touch the uncleanness of an animal, you're going to get the COVID-19 virus or swine flu or bird flu, which is how all of those diseases were transmitted. Every disease that now kill thousands or millions of people, they started in dead animals, every last one of them. There is none, including the Great Black Plague, the bubonic plague, which came from rats, and the fleas on rats. That's where the bubonic plague came from. Swine flu came from pigs, bird flu from chickens and geese or whatever dead, filthy thing that they're in those slaughterhouses killing and touching and not cleaning and having no hygiene at all when they do it. I think it was geese. Geese sounds familiar, but you can look up where the bird flu came from. Well, you have to be quarantined if you touch a dead animal, or else we're going to have another black plague, the bubonic plague. So you're going to be unclean, even if you didn't know about it, because of germs, young brothers, germs. But if it's an unclean person, there's not the same danger of germs if this brother is unclean because he had sex and seed came out of him and now he's unclean. Touching him you're only culpable if you knew about it. But if you didn't know about it, it's fine because there's not the same danger of disease spread. Touching a dead, unclean animal is where you get COVID-19, the black plague, the bubonic plague, the swine flu, and the bird flu. Everyone understands. Come on.
If I could, so I'll be doing a lot of research, like just in history, especially white people history, where it just goes to show that the Lord is very wise. When we look like back in Europe on just like their hygiene and how they kept themselves up, you know, they was like really trifling people. And
forget about it.
I mean, some of the things would make you throw up. And I remember just seeing the records where the Native Americans would come to white people came here originally back in the day. They came here and the Native Americans like, man, y'all need to go wash up. They said the Native Americans made them, like it was an order. You must go wash up because they stunk that bad. You know, women and the men felt as though that like being clean would make them sick. So they would not wipe their behind, they won't wash up and things like that. So
give him a hand. Tenerle un aplauso. He's telling the truth. Okay. That's the truth. All right. Anything else? Go ahead.
No questions so far, sir.
Solid. I'll give you a second. Any questions in the room that you would like me to answer? Please, up front.
Sir, I wanted to know, so what's happening with America and his allies? Is it somewhere in the Bible where we can pinpoint that this could be a situation that can occur where they break their alliances?
Lex explicar, which means explain. I don't understand.
Oh, Salaki, sir. So right now with pretty much the rumor of the war that can happen in Greenland,
Okay.
and against America and its allies.
And what about the war that could happen in Greenland against America and its allies?
Could we find something like that written
in the Bible? Oh, absolutely, brother. You can go find the wise men of Teman shall depart from thee. Find me that in the Bible if you could. Thy wise counselors shall depart from me. Thee, thy allies shall, I believe it's all around, the wise men of Teman shall depart from me. What you're seeing right now is the white man has a true absolute idiot in the White House. An idiot who has not even any goals of grandeur or of American excellence or even of great empire for America like other presidents have, like Monroe, who created the Monroe Doctrine, who kicked out the French and the Spanish and to take the entire continent to himself. Those men were wicked, and they had empire on their mind. You know, so many other presidents after them that had empire on their mind and did great evil things. Many of you don't know this, but when Adolf Hitler went to conquer Germany and all of the surrounding countries around Germany, Poland and the Rhineland and the Ukraine and everywhere around them, he did that because of America. He wanted to create the United States of Germany. He wanted to conquer his land and every land around it. And then he went to oppress the so-called Jewish people, seeing the great success that America had with the so-called black people and the so-called Native American Indians. And he absolutely copied what America did to the slaves in America, meaning the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Gad. He went out and purposefully hired people from America to help him to oppress the so-called Jewish people. So there have been many people in America that have had empire on their mind, that have been evil men who did not have enough. Thieves, ladrones, right? There's been men like that all the time. All right, amartes de lo aino, men who love other people's things. Amartes de lo aino, silaki. There's been men like that forever. But now what you have in the White House is a stone cold idiot who doesn't have any of those things on his mind. All he's thinking about is who was mean to him, who doesn't like him, who didn't give him an award, and he will fight over that and kill people over that. That's why he's sending people to Minnesota, because they did not vote for him when they should have voted for him. So now that you didn't vote for me, I'm going to destroy your economy with constant protests and have mass men coming to your neighborhoods because you didn't vote for me. And that's why he's not sending those same ICE agents in force into Texas, where you can absolutely find some Hispanics in Texas. But he's not going to do that to Texas because Texas voted for him. And it's just so primitive and childish because he does not have any good advice because he's an idiot. And you can find it in this precept right here. Do you have it?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?
Shall I not in that day even destroy the wise men out of Edom? That's what you're seeing right now in America. You just see somebody who has no good sense. Like, it's not even about, Democrat or Republican or left or right. And it's never been about right or wrong in America or Great Britain ever. They've never cared about that. But what you see is no one is smart. No one has any brains. You get the point? Everything he says is just what someone would say who doesn't have any brains at all. The Lord prophesied that. It's right here in the Bible. The Lord said, I will destroy the wise men out of Edom. Keep going. Edom, of course, is the so-called white man. And the wise men are the people who have common sense, smart men who helped him control the world in their wickedness. Continue.
And understanding out of the mount of Esau.
And I will destroy understanding out of the mount of Esau. So now America is going to what? Fight England? Fight France. Fight what's that country over there? Who controls I forget the name of those countries. In essence, fight all the people who were his allies during World War II. And they'll just become enemies with its allies. And of course, then its allies will become enemies with its enemies. And before you know it, Russia and China just become the closest of friends with the European powers. Now they'll be friends and they'll fight America, and all because some idiot didn't get his ass kissed enough, because he's not wise and there is no one wise around him. Everyone understands. This is a precept that I would use based on the car's question. All right. Is there anything else?
Yes, sir. From Princess Kanawa, Shalom, Lord in Christ, General Mahayaman, Salaki Adawan.
Please.
May I ask for the understanding of dinosaurs, the water for your wisdom?
The understanding of dinosaurs? To understand dinosaurs, just understand crocodiles and giant lizards. Those are big animals. Dinosaurs are not magical creatures. They're simply animals that are extinct today. Animals go extinct every day. Soon there won't be any more bumblebees. Your children will be looking around at movies trying to see a picture of a bumblebee because they're almost all dead. This is what happens because the so-called white man is in charge of the planet Earth. So at times they were just big animals. There are very big animals around right now. Most of them live in the ocean, like giant whales, right? Many dinosaurs lived in the ocean. Dinosaurs were around at a time when in this part of the world, meaning the part of the world where you find dinosaur bones today, dinosaurs lived in the Americas or in this continent. People lived in the Middle East. So people and dinosaur were around in the exact same time on the planet Earth. The difference is distance. They were so far from each other. If you don't believe that distance works, there are lions right now on the planet Earth, but they're not eating us. Do you understand? Because they're far away. They're far away. In India, you have tigers living where people live, right? Those people get eaten by tigers. So if you live close to the big giant animal, you get killed. But if you live far away from them, you brothers live in Pennsylvania. Well, how far would I have to go to see a mountain lion from where you're sitting right now today in Pennsylvania? 4 hours? Am I right or am I wrong? I would say 4 to 6 hours, right? You right? You go up in the mountains of Pennsylvania, a mountain lion will bite your face off, but they're 6 hours from us. Do you understand? So because of that, we don't have to worry about mountain lions. Well, there was a time when dinosaurs were in where Russia is and where the Americas are and where Los Angeles is right now. People were in the Middle East where Babylon is, where the land of Israel is. They were so far from dinosaur that they were not involved in their lives at all. That's the story of dinosaurs, all right? Is there anything else?
Sir, this is from Prince Powers. Slaki, sir, if I could. In ancient Israel, were we observed and monitored by our enemies like we are now?
Absolutely we were, and they were jealous of us. They hated us. They were jealous of us at the same time. A precept you need is in the Apocrypha, when the Assyrians wanted to conquer our land in Judea. And they went to what you would call today a Japanese king who had already been conquered by the Assyrians. So now he worked for the Assyrians. And he told them, you should not go and fight these people unless they have sinned against their God. This people, if they have sinned against their God, you will conquer them. But if they have obeyed their God, if they have kept all the commandments of their God, Prince of Assyria, do not fight them, for you will be conquered. The Prince of Assyria got so angered, he took that Japanese king and threw him over our wall and said, when I kill all the Israelites, I'll kill you too for even thinking that those niggers and spicks could beat me. Well, that day, the Assyrians got their heads chopped off and they fled, every man his own way. So the Japanese king knew about us. He knew we lost battles if we were sinful. He knew we could not lose if God was on our side. You understand? Remember that for the battles ahead. Remember that. The card.
That you quoted in the
Mhm.
book of Judith.
Mhm.
The book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20.
Mhm.
Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Let me tell you, the brother sent me videos of the Black Panthers. Back again. Listen, they ain't quitters. I give you that much. They do not quit. You're going to find two Negroes to get an AR-15 and say, let's try it again. We can do it again. Every time the Black Panthers step up, they believe that the tactic of using firearms to defeat the white man will work this time. Meanwhile, everyone with a gun on his chest is having sex with a white woman, eats pork, eats shrimp, and works for the FBI too. Don't forget that part. Half of them in the Black Panther Party are FBI agents, half of them. But they're not going. They're going to keep trying. They're going to try one more time. Then you have people like the Purple Pigs, the IUIC in the Christian church. They go out and they try marching, because marching, this time it's going to work. We're going to march and chant. We shall overcome. Purple is the way. Purple is the way. Purple is here to stay. Purple is here to stay. You know how many years Black people have tried marching as a tactic for freedom? Keep trying, y'all. I mean, you got these tactics you have tried for 200 years. Marching, protesting. Hold up now. Writing the big sign, holding it up. Marching, protesting, marching, protesting. Black Panthers try it with guns. Give me another. Hand holding. That's another one. We're all going to hold hands. Boy, we're going to squeeze these hands so tight that we're going to get freedom for it. I understand. They've tried it before. Fraternities. Black fraternities. White people won't let us join their fraternities, right? In college. So what did the Black fraternities do? We'll be our own Greeks. We'll brand ourselves with Greek letters just to prove that we're really Greeks. Look at me. I branded myself with a letter phi or pi or omega. Here's the problem with the Greek fraternities, the Black Greek fraternities. Your members are men like Martin Luther King. Your members are the rich aristocracy of Black people and Hispanics. I get you. I understand. Here's the problem, however. Alexa, can a member of Omega Psi Phi be gay?
I'm not quite sure how to.
Alexa, is it legal? Give me the word I want to use for it.
I'm not quite sure.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, does Omega Psi Phi accept gay men?
I'm not quite sure how to help you.
Yeah, I hear you, Alexa. Alexa, do Black fraternities accept homosexuals?
I'm not quite sure.
Let's Google that. Thank you, Alexa. You sure I'm not married to her? Sometimes I wonder if I'm married to this. Anything else? Okay. Look it up in your phones, Akim. Tell me in your phone. Remember, because we join Black fraternities so we can what? For the betterment of the people. So we can be a better people. Marching, hand holding, being a Black Panther with guns. All of these things are tactics. The problem is not the tactic. The problem is the person. There is a person that God will not help. There's a person he's never going to help. Keep going. Please, microphone.
I could, sir. I Googled it. And it had been explained that it says, yes, you can be gay in a fraternity with many LGBTQ plus members. So the plus can also be for pedophile.
All of those things. So
sir.
can you be in a Black fraternity and be gay? Nakar?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can. Can you be in a Black fraternity and have an orgy?
Yes, sir.
Now, here's the problem with being in a Black fraternity. You could be in that fraternity and march and dance and set up a soup kitchen. And at night, all of the members of Omega Psi Phi can have sex with each other. Now, that's from just looking it up. It's a male organization that accepts homosexuals and you can have orgies. Gay people don't have any problem with having multiple sexual partners. That's for damn sure. I never heard any preacher. I've heard 1,000 preachers tell gay people, we accept you. But why do I never hear a gay preacher say, but you can only be with one gay person? Have you ever heard that before? Like a preacher always tells heterosexual people, well, you have to be married. I've been told my entire career in the truth that you have to have a wedding ring and you can only have one wife. Preachers teach that in church. You can only have one wife. But preachers accept gay Christians. Do they tell gay people, you can be gay in here, but you can only be with one gay person? Never. They never say that gays have to be monogamous. Do you know what that means? When you're marching out there and praising the name of Jesus, there are gay people in that line that are having gay orgies at night, and it is accepted by your church. When you're in your fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, Phi Beta Sigma, Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Phi Alpha, your fraternity is having orgies with each other, and it is lawful and accepted by the bylaws of your organization. If you're in the Black Panthers, you can have the guns. The people with the gun are working for the FBI, and they're homosexual, and they have sex with white women, and they snort cocaine, and they eat pork. The tactic is irrelevant. The person is what matters. The person. And until you change the person, the tactic is irrelevant. Yes, the other nations are watching us. They see us marching. They've always seen it. They see us trying to fight the Romans, trying to fight the Greeks, trying to fight the Babylonians, trying to fight everybody. I get you. This is what the other nations know about us. Read it again, Nakar, and tell them where you are.
We are in the book of Judah, chapter 5. I'll start at verse 20 again, sir. That's to what? All right. This is the book of Judah, chapter 5 and verse 20. Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
If there be any, this is what the other nations know from watching us with our many and varied tactics for freedom. If there be any error in this people, any flaw, anything less than perfection, then that shall be their ruin. You want an AR-15 and wear all black? Do it. You want to march? Do it. You want to wear purple? Do it. You want to wear red and white? Do it. You want to sing? Singing, that's another big thing that we love. Singing songs will change everything. Stevie Wonder sings a great song. This person sings a great song. We think it's going to change the world. We think it's going to self-destruction. You're headed for self. Y'all young brothers don't know. We thought that was going to end gang violence. Huh? We thought that was going to end gang violence. You're headed for self-destruction, self-destruction. We thought that's it. The Crips and the Bloods are not going to fight anymore. What was the other song? You Will Know. We thought You Will Know came out. Oh, You Will Know was going to end all black on black crime. Why? Because it was singing. And we thought singing was a tactic that will work. Go ahead and sing. Go ahead and march. Go ahead and protest. But the problem is God will never help you, ever. If you are not perfect, that will be your destruction. Continue.
Khan. Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
And we're going to win. Keep going.
Khan, verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
Read that again.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
Again, otra vez.
Khan, sir. But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation. Go ahead.
Let my Lord now pass by.
Dios nos dará justicia. Dios nos dará justicia. God will give us justice if we're perfect.
Right.
If we're perfect, there is no adversary that could face us, that could destroy us. It's impossible. And he told this king, he said, if there be no error in them, my Lord, don't fight them. Don't fight them. Don't you understand the truly revolutionary action that blacks and Latinos could make is not marching, is not protesting, is not AR-15s, it's not singing. It's changing who you are to be a better person. That is revolutionary. And if you did that, no one would be able to fight us and win. Keep going.
If I could,
Please.
sir, I want to shout out to you, right, and the generals, if I could, because all our lives we've been lied to. You know, like the Christian church never taught us the importance of keeping the laws. Like many of us didn't even understand. Me personally didn't understand what a commandment, even the importance of a commandment was. And for this school to been rocking since 1969, teaching blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans to keep the commandments of God, and seeing right here where our enemies is plotting against us. And no, man, if these people learn the truth and they do what their God told them to do, we're in trouble. Like it gives more of a charge to these Christian pastors to lying to our people and miseducating, not feeding the flock and protecting.
Entiendo, give him a hand. I understand. He's telling the truth. You want to defeat the white man. Let me tell you, you think someone wants to defeat the so-called white man more than the Israelite school of UPK? You don't even understand. You think the Black Panthers hate white people? Are you joking? They don't even understand it. They don't know what it is because they don't hate their oppressor enough to give up having sex with white women. They don't hate him enough to give up pork, to give up shrimp, to give up lying, to give up cocaine, to give up marijuana. If the Black Panthers had to give up marijuana, no one would join the Black Panthers. If they had to give up cocaine, no one would join Omega Psi Phi. If they had to give up marijuana, no one would join the Christian church at all. If you had to give up anything, because they truly don't want to be free. They don't. In the Israelite school of UPK under commanding General YAHANNA, we want to be free enough. We hate our oppressor enough to keep the commandments of God. And that is the only way we will ever be free. Everyone understands.
Okay.
That's the precept that you need. All right. Good to go. All right. Anything else? Please.
This is from Rapayad. Stocky, sir, if I could, may I get a breakdown on what Yahushua meant when he said he was the first and the last in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 17?
No problem. Go ahead and read it. I'll do it for time's sake. Because Jesus Christ has been reincarnated just like everyone on the planet Earth. When he says he is the first and the last, he's speaking about being Adam. Because Jesus Christ is Adam in the reincarnation. Jesus Christ also is Jesus Christ. So he is the one that started this hell that we're in. He started it. All the greatest mistake in history was made by Eve. After Eve made that mistake, her husband continued it into every generation. This is in the New Testament. You can give it to me. For one man, death cometh into the world, and by one man, death cometh out. You need that, all right? That's what it means when he started it. We're in hell. We're in hell because of what Adam did. Because Adam hearkened unto the voice of his wife instead of listening to God. That is why we have been in slavery 18 times under 18 nations or 17 nations. That's why we've suffered drug addiction and oppression. It's the reason Donald Trump is snatching us out of our homes, because we preferred the other nations to the Lord our God and his commandments. That's why we suffer. That's why there's the projects. That's why there's drug addiction and abortion, because we preferred the laws of the oppressor and his culture to the laws and commandments of God. Adam started that. Jesus Christ ended it. He ended it. He came and he was absolutely perfect. He broke no commandments, broke no laws. If a broken reed was smoking and needed to be stepped on, he wouldn't step on it. He would not stamp out a smoking, broken reed. He harmed no one at all. And he was still murdered, still killed for the sins of his people. He started it and he ended it. And when he was on the cross, right before he gave up the spirit, he said, "It is finished." And then he died to rise again. He put us in this trouble, but he got us out. He said, "He that endureth till the end, the same shall be saved. He endured until the end. He started off as Adam and made the stupidest damn mistake that every young idiot like myself has made. You listen to some broad that makes you compromise your integrity. Everybody does it. Some woman gets in your head, and now because you want to make her happy, you do something stupid. I don't think one vial of cocaine would ever be sold unless a brother wanted to get a girl. I think it's the reason for everything that men do. Everything. I don't think a man would do anything if it wasn't to get tail. It's the reason that you shoot somebody over Jordans. It's the reason that you sell drugs. It's the reason that you fight each other. It's the reason you and your best friend are going to kill each other. A woman. That's that. He did that mistake. He did it. But then he fixed it. Remember that. That's why he's our example. He came back over and over and over again. And then finally, it was done. He did it. He's the first and he's the last. He's the Alpha and the Omega. That's your breakdown, all right? Everyone understands. Knocking the back microphone.
Oh, what kind, sir? Could you explain the generations when it's at the first, second, third, fourth generation?
Of them that hate me.
Say again, sir?
Of them that hate me, that one?
No, sir. So like before we was mentioning the people of a generation is everybody that's alive at the same time.
I got you. Oh, you okay, break it down. Explicar.
Explain. See, sir. So if you said if we was alive during the same time, that's one generation.
Right.
So how will we explain generations here?
It's very similar, meaning a generation. I'm giving you a loose term. Just imagine the average lifespan of a person, which is, what would you say it is today? 100? 70 is about right. Some people live to 100. I would say about 75, 80 is about right, right? You might get some woman that lives to 103. That can happen. You get my point. But the majority of people will be dead about 80. So if I was to go back 80 years and watch a TV show from 80 years ago, the old black and white TV shows, you can almost guarantee there is no one involved with that TV show that's alive. I mean, the cameraman is dead. The writer is dead. The boy that brought the donuts to the stage, he's dead. The wives of all of the cameramen and actors are dead. Do you get my point? That's a generation. It's a lifespan. A lifespan is a generation. So there are people that are around during this lifespan. Third and fourth generations is going back 3 and 4 lifespans. That's it. So this is your generation. To the third and fourth generation means not just you, but your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your great-great-grandfather. Do you understand? Those are totally different generations. There's your generation, but that's not the same as your grandfather's generation. Those people are dead. You understand? It's not the same as your great-great-grandfather's generation. It's not the same as your great-great-great-grandfather's generation. So 3 and 4 generations is 3 and 4 lifespans. Was that your question? Is that explaining it? That's it. Good to go. Any more? Go ahead. She can explain if you want, sis. You might need a microphone. It's up to you, Knock. All right. Go ahead.
So like, yes, sir. I'm not sure if I'm going to explain this the right way.
Don't worry about it.
But we were having a discussion about what you guys were just speaking about.
Yeah.
And I guess I was kind of a bit confused when you talk about generations and you say you might see a picture, for instance, of a father or a mother with either their daughter, their granddaughter, and their mother.
I got you.
Right. So, and then we have 4 different generations in one picture.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have silent generation. We have Generation X. We have baby boomers, millennials,
The Pepsi
Zillennials.
generation. That was one I remember. You ever hear that before?
What's that?
The Pepsi generation.
No, I haven't.
Oh, Alexa, what is the Pepsi generation?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
This motherfucker know. Look up the Pepsi generation in your phone. There was a Pepsi generation. You've heard of Generation X, Generation Y. There's a few other types of generations that are said all throughout the years. The greatest generation. You ever hear that one? Oh, how about this? Alexa, what is the greatest generation?
The greatest generation, also known as the GI generation and the World War II generation, is the demographic cohort of Americans following the lost generation and preceding the silent.
Alexa, stop. The greatest generation are the generation that fought in World War II.
My apologies.
You get my point. So I understand your question, but please continue it.
I was just trying to understand. My husband was trying to explain to me that they're different, but I don't see that as being different because it's like, are you saying, you said lifespan, a generation is a lifespan. Are we saying in 1 century? Or are we saying from 1920s to 1990s? That's just one generation. And my husband says something, a generation would be considered if his father and then his father and his son are all alive. So that's one generation. I was just a bit confused.
No sweat. I completely understand. Your confusion just comes from people using the term loosely. Generation is just used loosely, like the greatest generation, Generation X, Generation Y, Generation, like we're all alive at the same time. I'm so-called Generation X. I don't know what generation you brothers are. What are you now? Oh, shit. Give him a hand. Well said. Bien dicho. Bien dicho. Well said. Those are terms that people in the world use to describe being older. That's how they're using it. They're not using it in the biblical sense. They're just using it like this woman is 30 years older than this girl, and she's 20 years older than this girl, and the baby is 10 years older. They're using it in a loose way. That's all. It's just using the term. Someone look up Pepsi generation. I believe that's a thing. You got it, Knock? 19. There's a thing called the Pepsi generation. Break it down, Knock.
The Pepsi generation refers to a landmark 1960s marketing campaign that positioned Pepsi as a youthful modern choice.
So in the 60s, they all said they was doing the Tootsie and the hula hoop, and they said, we're the Pepsi generation. We don't drink that Coca-Cola. That's for old people. That's for old heads. We drink Pepsi. They're using it as they see fit. That's not what the Bible is talking about. The Bible is talking about a perfect word that Alexa uses, cohorts, meaning we're all around in the same general time. You get the point? It doesn't mean every single person dies on the same day, but it just means there's a general amount of time when we're around. There's a general amount of time when your grandchildren will be around. That's all. That's what it means biblically. People on the internet saying there's 5 generations in the picture are using that term loosely. Do you understand? They're not, if it's you and your mother, you're in the same generation, you and your mother, because your mother was 16 when she had you. You get the point? You're using that term. General Mayak's mother was 14 when she had him. General Mayak's mother and his mother, they're the same age. They're in the same generation because she was 14. They're not different generations. She was 14 years old. She's in the same generation as her son. You get my point? My mother, 16? You understand? Like, we're not in different generations. We're 14 years apart, 16 years apart. It's a loose term. The real term is a lifespan and the people or the cohorts in that lifespan. That's the real generation. That's the real term. Come on.
The water, sir. So it's safe to say cohorts instead of generation.
That's better. Right. Let's give her a hand. That's better. That's better to say. That's if you're trying to understand the biblical sense of generation. If you want to understand that, you can't use it by Facebook pictures and all that. That's not going to give you this. Tell you what it means. All right. Please. Copa otra vez. One more. Hold on. Let me think of this word. Me gustaría. Copa otra vez. Gracias. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir. This is from the tribe of Issachar.
Please.
If I may, General.
Please.
If I die in the truth in this life, will I find it in the following life also?
Yes, and not only that, that's why you found it this time. That's in the Bible. That's why you're in the truth right now. Jesus Christ said that. Jesus Christ said, ye that are with me in this generation shall be with me again. The reason that you're in the truth now is because you are one of those people that was in the truth then. You're back again. And the Most High God, gracias, is keeping. No, I think I'm good to go with this. Gracias. The Most High God is keeping his word. And that is when I first came into the truth, that was the mind-blowing thing when I read those scriptures. When Jesus Christ said, "You'll be with me again. You stood by me on the mount of skulls. You were with me then. You were with me when I gave out 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. You were with me when they stabbed me in the side. We'll be together again. In the regeneration, we will be together again." Brother, the reason you're in the truth now is because you were in the truth before. Everyone understand? Anything else?
This is from this is from God, Allah. Lucky, if I may, sir. I read Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 5 and 7 that came so much. Breakdown, so I can put in my precept book.
What was the verse again?
Ezekiel chapter 1.
Ezekiel 1, verse 5 and 7. And he said something so much. What'd you say again? No sweat. Please. I'm ready.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 5. Out of the midst thereof came the light of living creatures.
This, you want to put this in your precept book under your UFO breakdown. I think they call UFOs something different now. I would stick to the same UFO just because Y.A.H.N.N.K. But I think they have a whole another word. Put a slash in your precept book. What do they call UFOs now? Some other word? Knocker's going to give it to us. Go ahead. Oh, there's some other word they use for UFO now. You can just put that, put a slash in your precept book and put the other word there too, all right? So you can break it down for the people in this generation. Everybody gets it, right? So this is a UFO breakdown, a UFO precept. Go ahead and read it again.
Yes, sir. Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
We're in Ezekiel.
No, sir.
I'm sorry. This is a UFO breakdown, right? I believe this is it. The angels, the UFOs, right? Yeah. Okay, so he's seeing a vision. This is Ezekiel seeing a vision. He's seeing a vision of angels. And he saw 4 living creatures. They were alive. That's all you need right here. These creatures were living things, which is literally what the term creature means. Keep going.
And this was their appearance.
This is what they look like. Go ahead.
They had the likeness of a man.
They had the likeness of a man, meaning as you looked at them, you can tell that these were human beings. These were humans. They had that likeness. Keep going.
Verse 6. And everyone had 4 faces.
But these humans, these men had 4 faces. Keep going.
And everyone had 4 wings.
And everyone had 4 what?
Wings.
This is where the whole term of angels having wings, it comes from people trying to understand this. That's why people say that angels have wings. In actuality, an angel could have 4 wings, could have 2 wings, could have no wings. An angel could be 20 feet tall, floating in the sky. An angel could be so small that he fits on the head of a pin because he has the likeness of a man, but he's not actually a man. He's an angelic being, a being from another dimension. So he sees them, and these men have 4 faces, and I'm seeing 4 faces and 4 wings. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Verse 7. And their feet were straight feet.
Mm-hmm.
And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot.
Okay, I believe you can get a picture of this for the brother. I think we used to call them ninja boots back when I was coming up young in the truth, right? They're boots that have the first toe separated from the rest of the toes. Moccasins, I think, have that same look today. The moccasins that the tribe of Gad, the chosen people of God, the so-called North American Indians, they wear them. If you can find moccasins or calf boots, they might even call them that. Go ahead. The Chinese call, I think that's why, did I say ninja boots earlier? I think that's why we used to call them ninja boots, because back then when everybody thought they were a ninja, there was a time, you don't know, Nicar, every Negro was a ninja. Every Hispanic was a ninja. All of them was kung fu. We were all kung fu stars, all right? And they used to wear those boots in the ghetto, all right? You can find these boots and look them up. So he had these boots on. Those boots that look like a calf's hoof. Keep going.
And their feet were
Mm-hmm.
the sole of their feet.
Keep going.
Sparkled like the color of
And it sparkled like what?
burnished bread.
Like the color of what?
The color of burnished bread.
The angels are brown-skinned men. That's what they are. That's in the Bible. The angels are brown-skinned men. Also, look up another account that we would always read with this. Betty Hill and her husband. There were these two people. It was an interracial couple. One of them was called, the woman's name was Betty, and their last name was Hill. I forget her husband's name, right? And they said that they were abducted by aliens, right? They were abducted by aliens. And they said, well, what did these men look like? And she said they were dressed like cowboys. And they were black men. And they took Betty and her husband up into a spaceship and beat the hell out of them. That is what Betty said. She said they whooped our ass for hours. This was an interracial couple. And she said they were black men. You can find this account now on the internet. Betty and Barney Hill. I think that was his name. Betty and Barney Hill. Interracial couple got their ass whipped by black men who were aliens, Hispanic men that were aliens. Everybody understands. Okay, they were not actually aliens. They were angels of the Most High God, which is where the confusion comes in. Many accounts of people thinking aliens and UFOs were actually angels. It is rare, but it has happened. Continue. That's your breakdown. So this is the angel precept box. Precept for angels. I believe if you go farther on, it might be here where it talks about the wheels and the UFOs, but this is speaking about angels, showing you that angels are brown-skinned men, just like blacks y Latinos. All right, anything else?
Yes, sir. This is from you.
Mm-hmm.
If I could.
Please.
Because in the world, graduated as the only and seem to use as the only solution in the world.
And that is exactly how the world believes and what they think, and that's a lie. Money is not the only defense. Money is a defense, but it's not the only one, and it's not the best one. I believe, does he want the one in where is he looking for this at? That's a perfect precept. That's the one I was referring to. Go ahead.
For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
Wisdom is a defense. So you want to think about like having an arsenal, weapons at your disposal. All right. Wisdom is a defense. What do I mean by defense? Something that can protect you in a time of trouble. Wisdom is a defense, right? If you are wise, being wise can absolutely help you escape poverty, brother. Absolutely. There are so many people that have money, but they don't have wisdom. They're going to be poor soon. They're going to gamble away all of their money. They're going to really want to hit that trip, that parlay. You brothers don't gamble, but anyone that gambles knows that they are going broke over trying to hit a parlay. They're going broke over that parlay. You're never hitting that parlay ever. They're going broke over their drug addiction, their marijuana addiction, their stripper addiction, their shopping addiction, their shoe addiction. It's killing them. They have money but not wisdom, which means they're going to be poor. They have guns but not wisdom, which means instead of having a gun to protect you from someone that is trying to harm you, you're going to get that gun and you're going to harm yourself. So how many brothers have I counseled? They got a gun because, they want to protect themselves. That same gun they put to their own head. That same gun, their wife gets the gun and she shoots them with the gun. That same gun is illegal. So now they go to jail because of that gun that they purchased to defend themselves, but they didn't have wisdom. So wisdom is a defense. Keep going.
Yes, sir. For wisdom is a defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Keep going. Mm-hmm.
And money is a defense.
And money is a defense. Money absolutely helps if you're in trouble. If they're about to kick you out of your apartment and you have an extra $2,000, you're going to be there another month. If you have money, you can get your car out of, they impound your car. Oh, you'll be fine because you have $600. If you have money, it can protect you from trouble. You can purchase a lawyer because you have money. Money is a defense and wisdom is a defense. Keep going.
Yes, sir. But the excellency of knowledge.
Read that again.
But the excellency of knowledge is.
Read it again.
But the excellency of knowledge is.
But boy, do you really want to understand something that is excellent? Do you want some excellent knowledge? Because here it comes right now. But the excellency of knowledge is. Go ahead.
That wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Here's the excellency of knowledge. Wisdom gives life to them that have it. Money doesn't do that. It can't do that. So money is a defense and wisdom is a defense. But the greatest knowledge you can learn about defense is that wisdom can actually give you life and money cannot. Ask Puff Daddy, who had all the money in the world but no wisdom. And so he's sitting in jail. And this happens time and time again. Wisdom gives life and money can't. Both are good to have, but wisdom is better than money. All right? Is there anything else?
Yes, sir. This is from Among the Law.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Why did, Lucky, sir, if I may, in Numbers 3 and verse 46, why did they need to be redeemed, sir?
Why did they need to be redeemed? Go ahead and read it, please.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Numbers 3 and verse 46. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 213 of the firstborn of the children of Israel, which are more than the Levites.
I need some context, Doc. I don't recall this.
Yes,
Give me 2 verses, please.
yes, sir. Verse 44. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 45, take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites.
Take the Levites instead of the firstborn. Is that what you said? Go ahead.
Take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of their cattle.
So instead of the firstborn of all the children of Levi, and instead of their cattle, take the Levites. Is that what you read?
Yes,
keep going.
And the Levites shall be mine.
And the Levites shall be mine. I got it. Keep going.
I am the Lord.
I got it. Keep going.
Verse 46. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 213 of the firstborn of the children of Israel, which are more than the Levites, verse 47, thou shalt even take 5 shekels apiece by the pole. After the shekel of the sanctuary shalt thou take them.
Keep going. I need a little more about the taking. Keep going.
Yes, sir. The shekel is 20 gerahs. And thou shalt give the money wherewith the odd number of them is to be redeemed unto Aaron and to his son.
Keep going.
Verse 49. And Moses took the redemption money of them that were over and above them that were redeemed by the Levites.
I need a little more. What's happening at this time? I need something else I'm missing. Where are we at? Where are they going? It's before they went to the land of Israel, or what's happening here? You can just jog my memory. That might help. Not in the car. Not. Go ahead. So where are we at? I'll try to read it with you as well to catch up. I just can't remember. Say again. Yes. Numbers what?
Numbers chapter 3 and verse 46.
Numbers 3 and 46. Stand by. Numbers 3 and 46.
Yes,
Did I skip you up to 41?
Yes, you didn't skip me up to 40.
Okay.
44. You want to start first one?
No. I'm just trying to catch I still can't catch what is happening here. I'm not sure where I need to start. There's some event happening also when generations of 39, you said? Let me see. Oh, okay. I think I'm catching it. These also the generation of man, mother, and day of the Lord. Okay, hold on. The name of the sons. Okay. This is when the Most High God commanded that the people be numbered before they went into the land of Israel. So in essence, what's happening here is a census. Everyone knows what a census is, right? So Moses was commanded by God to take a census of the children of Israel. And so he's just being told how to do the census. The census in America is done very stupidly. Many of you brothers, you know this in many of the tribes. Many brothers who grew up thinking that they're black people are actually North American Indian because of the census, right? Because at some time they wanted to take the North American Indians' land. So they went to North American Indian communities and they went and they said, "You're black. You're black now." And they would sign, African American or black, but they weren't. They were so-called North American Indian, but the census had to be that this is a black neighborhood, because if it was a North American Indian neighborhood, they would get to keep that land. So we know this, and many people in the tribe of Judah know this, that you grow up thinking that you're black and you're not black. You're North American Indian because of what a census taker did in the 20s. This happens all the time, or vice versa. Or you thinking that you are black, but at this time there's a government program where black people are getting something from the government somehow. Oh no, you're not black, you're North American Indian. That's who you are now. You sure? I thought I was North American Indian. No, you're black. I thought I was black. No, you're North American Indian. And the census taker switches it. And this, you can just, what I'm saying, this is something you can do your research on and find it probably in 10 seconds. That the census in America and Great Britain is done in a way to profit rich men and them wanting to take neighborhoods from any particular person for some particular reason. Everyone understands. That's where the term Latino and Hispanic comes from. Because if there was some time when they were trying to decide what to call the chosen people of God who speak so-called Spanish. But so they called them, if they called them Latino, then the people from Brazil would not be included, because the Brazilians do not speak. If they called them Hispanic, then that would not include, what tribe is in Brazil? I forget. Asher. That would not include the tribe of Asher, because the tribe of Asher in Brazil speaks Portuguese. So if they're called Hispanic, then that does not include the Brazilians. And of course, the Brazilians are the largest group of so-called Latinos on the planet Earth, right, in Brazil. But they're not Hispanic. So they would just sign a census saying they're not Hispanic because I don't want to include them. I want to exclude the people in Brazil. So I'm saying Hispanic. And if it's Latino, that would include the Brazilians, but it would exclude other tribes. And they just work it and twist it so rich men can make more money. Come on, right here in the front. Thumb you out.
Wow. This is the one which was research. Census records use race categories for self-identification separate from ethnicity, based on Office of Management and Budgets standards with common groups including white, black, African American.
Everyone knows what a budget is, right? I think that gets to the point. So they'll just do it to make money, and you'll be whatever this fool that walks into your door says you are. And that's that. And so because you come into the Israelite school of UPK and we question you about your grandfather, about your mother and father, that's how you can find out what tribe you are. But you cannot find that out from a census, because they'll just write down anything back in the 60s or the 50s or the 20s. Everyone understands, all right? And anything that makes money, all right? So what's happening right now in the book of Numbers, which is in actuality why it's called the book of Numbers, is because a census was taken, which is what numbers means. Everyone was counted. Everyone was put into a group or categories so we could know how many tribes we had, how many people we had in each tribe, how many fighting men we had in each tribe, how much cattle did we have in each tribe, how many women did we have, blah, blah, blah. All right. That's when the census was taken, which is why this book is called the Book of Numbers, because they counted the people. Everyone gets it. So that's what we're doing right now. So now go to the brother's question. Go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, the 3 and verse 46. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 203 score,
one verse above it.
Verse 45. Take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children.
So now the way they would usually count it is count the firstborn, because the firstborn would be the ones in charge. You understand? That's how we ran our government. It's how Great Britain is run today. In Great Britain, and if you're a peer of the realm, they count the firstborn. Until I think Queen Elizabeth, you had to be the firstborn male, right? In Israel, the firstborn male was set apart. He was in charge. He was elevated above his peers. You get my point? But in this census, they said, don't do that. Take the tribe of Levi. They're the firstborn of the entire nation, which made the Levites the priests. It made them the upper class. Before this time, the firstborn male would be the upper class because he was the only one that could receive an inheritance. In Israel, you could not receive an inheritance unless you were the firstborn male. If you died, then it passed on down. If you had no sons, it passed to your daughter. That's how it worked, all right? So the firstborn was the one who could inherit. But as they do this census, Moses says, nah, count the Levites instead of the firstborn, because we're going to make our upper class, the so-called Haitians, the tribe of Levi, the chosen people of God. That's the way the government ran at that time. It was a class system. Many times people can't understand the Gentiles in the New Testament because you don't understand how a class system works. Someone could be a concubine and she's the same race as the wife, but she's a lower class. So you're right, your wife is from the tribe of Levi. She's the upper class. This woman is a so-called Puerto Rican, a so-called Mexican, a so-called Judite, which are not in charge. And you had to kill her family in a war. And now she's homeless because you killed her family, but you'll take her in. You'll give her some food. You'll marry her. She shaves her head and takes off that bloody clothing, shaves that bloody hair off her head, and you'll marry her as an act of kindness. She's the same race, but she's a lower class. That is how Great Britain runs today among white people. There's Cockneys in southern London who are completely lower than someone from Notting Hill who looks at them like, I'm above you. You get my point? That's how Israel ran before Jesus Christ. And then Jesus Christ put this nation in order. And now you were in charge, not because of who your father was, but because of the oath you took. Jesus Christ set the wheel on edge. He turned the wheel. It was a spinning wheel going like this. And he went and knocked it off its axis. He went and put who was righteous in charge, as opposed to who their family was. Everyone understands, all right? I'm just trying to give you context to this breakdown. Now keep going.
Yes, sir. And the cattle of, Numbers 3, verse 45. Oh, sorry. This is book of Numbers 3 and verse 46. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 213 children, and for those that are to be redeemed of the 213 of the firstborn children of Israel, which are more than the Levites.
So what is the redeemed? Meaning you had more firstborn children than the Levites. So for the amount that was more, they were redeemed. So meaning you took all the Levites to be the firstborn of the nation, meaning they were in charge. And for the number that was left over, that was more than the firstborn Levites, that number of firstborn became the upper class. So you had every Levite was in the upper class. Then there was a certain number of every tribe who were firstborn. They also got to be in the upper class. Who did these people become? The Sadducee and the Pharisee, the Hashmonean dynasty, the Maccabees, who were Judites, but they were that number who was more than the Levites. And so they got to also be the firstborn. They got to also be rich, also have power, because they were firstborn and the top level of firstborn. Every Levite was an aristocracy, every Levite, which is why it was ridiculous that Joseph had sex with Mary before the wedding day. That was a scandal. And people don't get that from reading the story because of the myth of Immaculate Conception. Mary giving that tail up before the marriage day was a scandal. Why? Because Mary was of the tribe of Levi, which meant she was, from Notting Hill. Joseph was a carpenter. Do you understand? In a ghetto. She had sex with him before the marriage day. Brother, it was like the lady, the Duchess of Kingsbury having sex with a farmer and not even getting married first. It was such a scandal that Joseph was scared. He was terrified to take unto him Mary, his wife. He sought to put her away privately, to spare her the scandal of it. Then an angel said, "Fear not to take hold of Mary, thy wife, for what is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit." Otherwise, he would have hid that pregnancy because he embarrassed that family. And her family was the family of who? Aaron. You understand? Who was her family member? The family members of John the Baptist and Aaron. It was a goddamn scandal for that girl to get pregnant before they had the wedding day. Joseph had courage on that day. We're reading about how they set up the structure. Who was the upper class and who was the lower class? Every Levite, then a certain number of the firstborn of every tribe. That's when they're saying redeemed, that's what they mean. A certain number of the firstborn, they will also be in the upper class, but not the rest of the firstborn of every tribe. Come on. I believe that answered it. Did that answer it? Is that simple enough? All right, go ahead. With that said, let's pass the class over to priest over Barzal. Give him a hand.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Security announcements. We are the one I.S.U.P.K. at one West 125th Hall, New York. At the Commanding General YAHANNA. New brothers and sisters, the new brothers and sisters coming to school. They're up for 6 months. They're going to be saluted only. They're here to check of the world. They turn for the rating. 6 months for brothers and sisters interested in a particular person. They must see something from the head, top, heaven. Number 18, verse 21. By the top 3, verse 8 to 10 means the Hebrew. My Ashra, 10% of every penny they can increase the Lord. Put in the donation bucket or drop it online. priest my free will offer for every comments, whatever money like to give. Upcoming holy convocation is Purim, Monday, March 2nd, through Tuesday, March 3rd. You can check out the book of Esther. If you want to be true in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, I'm Mike. Men, please stand. One more courtesy salute. Sisters, shopping can see real quick. We'll give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel. Baba Shabbat. Mike. Barak. Time we still post our pressure in Christ. So, sisters, I'm Mike. We can stand. We'll do class together. Feet 45-degree angle. We'll salute you. Salute back. Men of Israel. We'll salute the sisters. About Shabbat. Mike. Barak. Yahweh Shemar, the thought by Shem Yahweh. Which means most high our children in Christ at the time. We hands down, flesh.